9th of February, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Shavua with Rashi, Titzaveh. Putting on, and just please make sure that you turn it off when you're done.
Okay. Okay.
All right, great. Have a good cheer.
You too. Fine. Very good. Okay.
Enjoy your
Go
day.
lunch. You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look out for Mayor. Mayor should be.
Yeah. I'll have to admit when he comes. Yeah. Okay, Yechiel.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to maybe open the translation. 1 second. That's there. Okay. Yeah, we were in the middle of this long Rashi. Maybe I'll quickly go over it again. Just 1 second. Okay. Very good. Okay, here comes Mayor Gansha. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Mayor.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I think you'll be doing all the reading today.
Oh, okay.
You earned yourself a readership.
Okay, I guess I inherited it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are we
Okay.
begin from where
Let's start from that Rashi again, the ephod.
Okay, hold it. The ephod. Okay. Okay, the ephod. Lo shamati v'lo matzati v'varaita perush tabnito. So this is Rashi.
Found in a brisa. You have not, sorry, I've not heard, which really is referring to what he may have heard from one of his rabbis. Okay.
Okay.
V'lo matzasi b'brisa, and I have not found in a brisa what is pirush tabniso, an explanation of a description of how it was made, of its form.
Oh, okay. Okay. V'libi omer li shehu chagor lo me'achorav.
Okay, my heart tells me that it was chagor, it was girded around him, that it was girded on him from behind.
From the back, huh?
Like normally, like you normally put on an apron, yeah, you'd stand up, take from the front and tie it around the back. This was done the opposite. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And Rechavoi Karoichav Gav Ish. Its width being as wide as a person's back. The Ma'aser Rashi is going to say later a little bit that the Sifsach Chomet says Lav Davka. It was a little bit wider. I showed you yesterday. And if you can see clearly,
Yes, we can see. A little higher. A little higher.
a little higher.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Right, so now it's not, there's two pictures there.
Right.
It's for me what I see on the left. Is that how you see it, or you see it on the right?
The one on the left looks like it's closed. The one on our right is the one that's open, untied.
Right. Okay. That's the one. That's the Rashi one. There's just like two shoulder straps, and the should we say the skirt of the ephod is wrapped around him, but only like just a little bit more than halfway.
Uh-huh.
That's Rashi's. It's the way Rashi has it.
Oh,
Okay.
And then it's going into the French. It says Kamin Sinar Sikorin. I don't know the French. Pourcent.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I guess means apron in French.
Yeah. It's a kind of apron.
Okay. Shehogrot Hasarot Kisherochvot Al Hasusim.
This is what noble women, Keshecheres Hasoros, means noble women wear it, Kesherochves al Hasusim, when they ride on horses.
Okay.
Okay. I mentioned yesterday this whole that there was certain Maisa, the Rashi unwittingly, albeit unwittingly, when a Maisa Rashi looked at this, noticed this woman riding, a noble woman riding on horseback, and he chided himself for having actually observed this scene. And because he was Rashi was particularly careful not to look at strange women.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, he learned this Parsha, and he says that Minashamayim, they had me see this picture, this scene, in order that I should understand the construction of the ephod, the way the ephod was formed.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay. So was its construction, so it was made, right?
Right.
Was the lower part of the ephod. This is how the lower part of the ephod was made. Which means, now what Rashi means the lower part as opposed to the shoulder straps on top. But the actual part which was girded the Kohen Gadol, that was like an apron. Shnema, now Rashi goes on to point out over here that the ephod is not just a belt, but it's an action apron. Okay, girded around the person. Now Rashi brings it right. Shnema.
Okay. David Chagur ephod bad. So it's
David was girded with a linen ephod.
oh, bad is linen. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Limdanu sheha ephod chagora he.
Right. From which we learn that the ephod is a girded garment.
Mhm. Okay. ואי-אפשר לומר שאין בו אלא חגורה לבדה.
Okay, it's impossible to say that she'ein bo ela chagura levada means, you know what the ephod was merely a belt. The belt itself was the ephod.
Oh,
Rashi says no, that you cannot say that.
okay. Let's see. Shaharei ne'amar vayitain alav et ha'ephod.
Right? This is later on in Parshas Tzav, when there was the actual 7 days Shivas Yimei HaMiluyim. It says on each day that I wish it was just on each day, but Akopanim on those during those 7 days of Shivas Yimei HaMiluyim. Sorry about that. Shivas Yimei HaMiluyim. The Kohanim who were being inaugurated during that time, they wore the priestly clothing. And Moshe Rabbeinu dressed Aaron and dressed his sons in the priestly clothing.
Okay.
Okay, so now it says over there, now there it says, he put the ephod on Aaron, or it could be he put the ephod over the me'il.
Oh, okay. V'achar kach v'yachgor oto b'cheshev ha'ephod. So let's see.
And he girded him with the cheshev ha'ephod.
Yeah, what's that?
It's a part, that's what Torah calls a part of the ephod, which wasn't ephod itself. It was an additional part. So it says, Vayakar oso b'cheshev ha'ephod. He girded him with the, Rashi's going to explain, that means the belt. And,
Okay.
and which English translates as behemyon ha'ephoda. Behemyon ha'ephoda.
Okay, so that's the belt. Okay.
From which we learn that the cheshev, that was the actual belt part. But the ephod itself is a separate, adornment.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Rashi says another thing. Rashi says, you know what? What's the ephod? Here's the two shoulder straps. She says, one cannot say, shall shteim shtei hakseifos sheboi ukore ephod. You cannot say that on account of the two shoulder straps. That's why it was called the ephod. And meaning that the actual ephod itself is not the apron, but it's the two shoulder straps. So Rashi says you cannot say that. Shahari nema shtei chisvos ha'ephod. The two shoulder straps of the ephod.
Oh, okay.
Which means that the ephod itself is not the kisvos. L'madnu sha'ephod shem levad, v'chseifo is shem levad. So it's three separate parts.
Oh, okay. Ephod, ketefod.
Therefore, let's continue. Continue.
I have l'chach. L'chach ani omer.
Yes, I also do. Sorry. L'chach ani omer.
Okay. She'al shem hasinar shel mata karoi ephod. So what's this? So therefore, I say, okay.
That's an account of the account of the apron, meaning
Nars an apron, okay.
on account of the, I'm not sure that on account is the right word. Let's see what I used over here. Account, yeah, account of the apron-like garment.
Oh,
Shema
okay.
Sinar, Shomata, Kori, an account of the apron part of the garments, which hung downwards. That's why it's called the ephod.
That's the apron.
Al Shem, why is it called an ephod? She'oftoi u'makashtoi boy.
She'ofto.
Yeah, because he's bedecked. She'oftoi u'makashtoi boy. He's like bedecked and adorned with this ephod. K'moshe ne'emar, it says there in Parshas Tzav, Vayepoid loy boy, means he adorned him with the ephod. Okay, that's that's what Rashi says. The ephod is the apron part. V'acheshev hu hachagor shelemale menu. The cheshev is the actual belt part of the ephod, which was above the actual ephod itself, the apron. Seifos and their shoulder straps, kavuas boy. They were affixed, attached to the cheshev of the ephod, which was, in other words, you had the ephod, which was like the apron. On top of it, it was attached a belt, it was called the cheshev. And on top of the cheshev, attached to the cheshev, were these two shoulder straps. Shtei kesefos. Okay, that's basically how you have the picture over here. Yeah. The belt part you can't see so clearly. Oh, just 1 second. Come in, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway, I'll see. Let me see. If
He's going to join us. Well, on
the see it clearly, I'm sort of trying to.
On the right example, you see a little. It looks like.
Yeah, he's got this thin thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So those, if you look carefully, it's attached at the top. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then on top of that is attached to 2 shoulder straps.
Right.
Okay. Now how clearly I get it. Okay. Very good. Now. Okay. V'oid oimer li libi.
Okay. So Steve, we're in
Pasuk, yeah. We're in chapter 28. Steve? Hello?
Chapter 28.
Pasuk 1.
Okay.
But we're in the very long Rashi, all about the ephod.
it's actually 4, I think, Rabbi. Daled.
Oh, you're right, Pasuk Dalet. I'm so sorry. Not Pasuk 1, Pasuk 4. Anyway, continue, please, Mayor.
Okay. It says Ve'odomer Lilibi, okay, Sheyesh Raya Shehu Min Lavush. Okay.
In other words, I have a proof. There's a proof that the ephod is a type of garment. It's not just a belt or just shoulder straps. It's actually a fully fledged garment.
Oh, okay. So it
So
says,
what's the raya?
okay, Shetir Game Yonatan, David Chagor Ephod Bad Kar. Let's see, Kardut
Devuts means the Targum Yonasan ben Uziel.
Okay.
Yonasan ben Uziel translated term,
Labriut.
now ephod bad as karodut devuts, as a karodut of linen. Okay, but tirgem kemoikein me'ilim kardutin. And similarly, he translates the word elsewhere when he uses referring to a ma'il, which is like a robe. Okay,
Oh,
he
it's
also refers to, he translates a robe as kardutin. Where do you see that? B'maise Tamar, Achos Avshalom. With the Maise with Tamar, the sister of Avshalom, where her half brother, Amnon, was also a son of David, but through a different mother. He tried to, he tried to rape Tamar. Okay, and the pasuk describes over there what she was wearing. Tamar, he came till Bashna benois hamelech habasulois me'ilim. It says that the accepted practice was that the daughters of the king, the unmarried daughters of the king, would wear me'ilim, special kind of robe.
These robes.
You see that a me'il is a robe. It's not just a belt. It's not just shoulder straps. It's a fully fledged garment. So similarly, Targum uses the same word, karodut, to describe a me'il. And he also uses the word karodut to translate the word ephod. So you see, ephod is a fully fledged garment, not just the belt and not just the shoulder straps.
Right.
Okay, very good. Now, continue.
Okay. Ume'il. Hu kamin chaluk v'chein haketonet. Okay.
Right. This was a kind of a robe. It was a robe.
That's the me'il. Okay.
Okay, and Rashi makes the comparison. The similarly, the ksonis was also a kind of robe.
The robe. Okay.
Elo shaksonis samoch libsaroi, umeil koroi chaluk ha'elyon. Means the upper robe was called a me'il. Now it's interesting. Where was the avnate worn? Okay, by the Kohen Gadol. Where did he wear the avnate?
I presume on the outside, no?
No, because the Maisa.
I mean, it was under the me'il? Or the ketonet, I mean?
Besides, obviously, the Torah gave the commands Moshe to make these garments, but they did have a purpose, and the purpose of the avnate was to hold the me'il in place.
Oh.
So I believe it was born underneath. Yeah. So here it brings the Rambam describes the order. Describes the order of the how the Kohen Gadol wore all the eight garments.
Oh.
Was first came the Michnasayim, which were like pants, which the Kohen Gadol, even the Kohen Hedges also wore them, but that was closest to the skin. That covered the lower part from the waist down. Okay, then you had the Ksonis Tashbates. This is the Ksonis, then Ksonis Tashbates. Okay, we're going to see Rashi is going to speak about that in a minute. And then over the Ksonis Tashbates, the Kohen Gadol wore the avnet, not the Kohen, but Kohen Gadol as well. But the Kohen Gadol and the Kohen Hedget wore an avnet. Okay, and the Maisa is a Gemara, Machlokes in the Gemara. The Kohen Gadol for sure, when he wore an avnet, it was a multicolored belt.
Mhm.
That's for sure. And when the Kohen Gadol served on Yom Kippur, that's for sure, it was a white belt. Okay, it was made of just of linen.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
The Machlokes is, what did the Kohen Hedget, who also wore an avnet, what did he wear the rest of the year? Was it just a white linen one, or was it made of, also like the Kohen Gadol, of a mixture of a wool of different colors? Okay, that's the discussion in the Gemara. The avnet, the first belt, went on top of the ksones, and then he put on the meal, and then on top of that he put the ephod. Okay, and a part of the ephod, then he attached the choshen, which was the breastplate, and then he put on the hat, which was the mitznefes, and on top of the hat he put the tzitz. Doesn't actually mention the tzitz over here in this pasuk. Just the pasuk says what didn't have a din of a beged, didn't have a din of a garment. That's the pasuk says. So how many garments are mentioned here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the two which are omitted over here, because traditionally the Kohen Gadol wore 8 parts of his attire. So the 2 parts which are missing are the tzitz, which went over which wasn't really a garment at all. It was an ornament which went over the mitznefes. And you've got the michnesayim, which do not have a, shall we say, status of a fully fledged garment. It was more worn. Obviously, the Kohen had to wear it, and if he wasn't wearing it, he couldn't do the avodah. But the main purpose of it was the shem, the tznius, that the Kohen parts, his private area, covered properly with a garment, besides all the other garments. Okay? Yeah. Next Rashi, Tashbeitz.
Okay, Tashbeitz. Asuyin mishbetzot linoi.
They were made of indentations.
Oh, okay.
The real word mishbetzos, yeah, I didn't actually translate it, because Rashi is going to explain what these are.
Oh, okay.
I said mishbetzos. They were made with mishbetzos for decoration.
Okay.
Mishbetzos, what are the mishbetzos?
Okay. Heim kamin gumot hasiyut b'tachshitei zahav.
Yeah, and the actual, just 1 second. Yeah, the mishbetzos were actually kind of indentations which are made for gold ornaments. Lemoishav kvias avonim toivos umagolis, that it should be as a setting for the precious stones or pearls or whatever with which you surrounded with a gold setting. And the idea of the gold setting was not just to hold the stones in position, but it was also to emphasize, bring out the appearance of the stone. Okay. As it says, as Rashi himself says, it says regarding the stones of the ephod, which means the shoulders, the shoham stones, which were on the shoulder straps. It says, so the pasuk says, we're going to see later in pasuk Yud Aleph, musabois mishbetzois zahav. Right? These were musabois mishbetzois. They were encased Musabois means surrounded. They were encased with mishpatzoi zav, with gold settings. And the Rashi says this, it brings a French word, ubelaz koyem oisoi castans.
Ooh,
Okay? Right. Then mitznefes.
okay, it's nefetz, kamin, kipat kova. That was a hat. Okay. Shekorin.
Wafe.
That's the French.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I mean, the coif means something which you, and even nowadays in modern French, a hairdresser is somebody who, either barber or for ladies who does makes a person's hair is called a coiffeur.
Oh,
Because the hair of the head is called a coif. So this is like this is a hat or cap to cover over the head. Okay.
okay.
Now Rashi proves it. This mitznefes is a hat, right? Which is called a coif, right? It's kind of a. It actually was like a somewhat more like a turban. That's what the Gemara says. It was made of a very long cloth and was wrapped around the head of the Kohen Gadol. Now Rashi says, "Shari b'mokum acher."
Okay.
Elsewhere, this mitznefes is called Koreh lohem migbois. The Torah describes what are the head covering, the headgear of the Kohanim is called migbos, right? And that, that's translated as hats.
Oh,
So, and Rashi's shita is actually that mitznefes and migbas are one of the same thing. Many Rishonim, many Mefarshim learn that the Kohen Gadol had a different kind of hat. The Kohen Gadol's hat was called a mitznefes, and the Kohen Hedget's hat was called a migbas. But Rashi's of the opinion, Rashi we'll see later, Rashi's of the opinion that was all one and the same kind of hat. And Rashi proves, therefore, since the Kohen Hedget's head covering was called a migbas, was translated by Onkelos as koivoin, hats, okay? So therefore, so too, this mitznefes is also the same kind of thing. It's also a hat. Okay? Okay. Then we got the avnate.
okay, hold on. Let's see. The avnate. I think I just lost my place. Hold on 1 second.
Have a great day, everyone.
Okay, you too.
Walter.
Okay, hold it. The avnate.
You will.
It's the second to last piece on the Rashi. This passage.
Yeah, I'm looking. Hold on. We're too old. Hold it. The avnate.
Comes after mitznefes. I don't know what edition do you have.
Oh, I have the art scroll one.
Actually, I can't see you.
It'll be too
I could do with a hand. I could show you on the show the page on the screen, and I'll show you where it is. Yeah, you have to turn over the page, I think.
Oh, this side.
Yeah, right. Lift it up. Here we go. Bring it a little bit closer. Can't see so clearly. Lift it up. Or you want to know in the Hebrew there? Or it's not clear enough. Anyway, it's towards the. Let's work backwards. See where Pasuk 5 is.
Oh,
Rashi,
that's
Pasuk 5.
okay. Hold it. Pasuk 5. Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
got it now?
Okay, the avnit, yes. Okay, sorry. Hi chagura al hakutonet.
This was a belt over the ketones.
Okay, v'ha'ephod chagura al ha'ma'il. Okay, and that was over.
Okay? And va'ephod chagura al ha'ma'il. So Rashi is saying there were two belts over here. The first belt was tied over the ketones. Ephod chagura al ha'ma'il, and the ephod, which also had a belt, which was the Hashavua ephod, that was tied, girded over the me'il.
Yeah, okay.
As we find in the order of the wearing. It says, Vayitain olav esakutones. He put on him the kutones. It means that's an actual garment. He put on the kutones. Vayachkar oisoi ba'avnet. And he girded him with the belt. Okay, he dressed him with the meal. And he put upon him the ephod. So, okay, so the question is, but upon him, you see the first comes the ksonis, then the avnet, then the meal, and then the ephod.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, one more Rashi here. Bigdei Kodesh.
Okay, mitugam hamikdushet mikudeshet lishmi ya'asu otam.
Lishmi yasu otam. Mitruma hamikudeshes lishmi yasu otam. Rashi says, what's the word Kodesh mean? There should be garments of holiness. What is this adjective that's going to be garments of holiness? Okay, what is that referring to? So Rashi says that it has to come from Truma Hamakudeshes Lishmi Yasu Esam. The money from which the materials and everything was acquired, and that money had to be money which was dedicated for the specific purpose of making the Bigdei Kohuna. Okay? Meaning it was not from the Kohen's own money, it was from money which had been dedicated to the Mishkan for this purpose. Okay?
Very good.
So we got finally to the end of the Rashi here on Pasuk Dalet, and Bez Hashem tomorrow we will continue Pasuk Hey.
Pasuk Hey.
Shukach.
Very good. Shkoyach.
Okay, how do
Have a
I?
good day.
You too.
Okay, thank you.
Turn off recording.
Okay.
Fine, shkach.
Okay, be well.
Bye.
Yechiel, have a good
Be
day.
well.
Same to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Kol tov, Yechiel.
Thanks very much. Glad to be.
Stop record. Okay. That's me. I want to do this. And